Ostrich attached to a sulky 1933. Workers reassemble the statue of Ramses the Great at the Temple of Abu Simbel in 1967. The entire complex was relocated 200 meters further inland to allow for construction of the Aswan High Dam. A photo of the Sherry Lewis, creator of Lamb Chop, in 1970. Ice Cube choking the Statue of Liberty in the 1990s. October 1964, New York. Children wearing masks for Halloween. Bear trainer, 1870s to 1880s. "15-year-old German Luftwaffe anti-aircraft crew member crying after being taken prisoner by American forces, 1945. Two men pose with a 1931 Studebaker Giant, the largest car in the world. A miner pulls a box of coal out of a coalface, 1890. Mahabodhi Temple, before 1879. Its restoration, it is the site where Gautam Buddha attained enlightenment. (1890), Oregon salmon canning establishment. Stacked cannonballs, possibly a view of an arsenal yard in Washington, District of Columbia, Civil War. British soldiers congratulating Imperial Japanese troops on their recent victory over the Chinese Kuomintang. Shanghai International Settlement, China, 22. November, 1937. Dead horses surround the damaged Trossel House, results of the Battle of Gettysburg in July of 1863. Elvis and an unknown girl goofing around in a photo booth in 1950. Robert Capa, Sicilian peasant, telling an American officer which way the Germans had gone, near Troina, Italy, August 1943. Farrah Fawcett crashed young boy's confirmation party in 1979. Big hair, 1980s. Photograph of Mrs. Yang, the wife of the Chinese ambassador to the United States, inscribed on back to Miss May H. Morgan from her friend, Mrs. Yang. Washington, May 28, 1895. Whitney Houston in 1980. Bull Chief, warrior of the Apsailuk, Crow tribe, photographed by Edward S. Curtis in the year 1908. Aloha Airlines Flight 243 lost its fuselage mid-air and landed safely on April 28, 1988. Elvis Presley holding a ham at the 1962 Seattle World's Fair. A Canadian gives his pals a little home music with his fiddle outside their dugout in 1917. Braniff International Uniforms by Emilio Pucci, 1965. Tiffany Ambertisen, circa 90s. May 1941. Convict camp in Greene County, Georgia. The guitarist is bluesman Buddy Moss. Two Red Army soldiers with accordions at a blown-up Finnish pillbox in the Summa Kotinen area, 1940. Five megabyte hard drive being shipped by IBM in 1956. (1864) Civil War destruction in Richmond, Virginia. Jane Russell posing for a portrait during the filming of The Outlaw, 1943. The first United Kingdom-based non-white stewardesses to be employed by an independent airline received their wings at the London offices of British Midland Airways in 1970. Actor Tatsuya Nakadai smiled on location of the RAN 1985. A photographer tracked down people he photographed decades ago to recreate the same images, taken by Chris Porsche. Soviet informals. Rhodesian infantry soldiers, 1976. Federal encampment on the Pamunkey River, Cumberland Landing, Virginia, in May of 1862. Top secret operation to recover a crashed MiL-Me-25 Hind D in Chad, Africa. Operation Mount Hoplo, 3 June 10th to 11th, 1988. Wounded World War I soldiers watch as Suzanne Dow, a top art student of the School of Fine Arts in Paris, sketches the portrait of a soldier, 1918. A device for teaching a child to walk Switzerland, 1939. The car crashed into a tree. The camp of the Tennessee Colored Battery, pictured during the Siege of Vicksburg at Johnsonville, Tennessee in 1864. J. Robert Oppenheimer lectures at Kyoto University on September 14, 1960, in Kyoto, Japan. Dustin Hoffman, Dante Basco, and Robin Williams on the set of Hook, 1991. Glass negative of lady with wet hair combing it, circa 1890s. Residents walk through the ruins of Richmond, Virginia in April of 1865. Civil War. A French soldier stands next to a giant German 420mm artillery shell. People gather in Times Square to celebrate the new year, December 31st, 1939. A man in a suit with many arms. A young aspiring model and beginning starlet Sophia Loren coming out of a train. Italy, 1953. Björk at the beginning of her career in Sugar Cubes, circa 1986 or later. A crowd gathered outside Tutankhamun's tomb in the Valley of the Kings, Egypt, 1922. The bus drove into the bar. J.P. Morgan hitting a photographer with his cane. He was self-conscious about his rosacea and hated being photographed without permission. Nicolas Cage with Danny Trejo and his kids on the set of Con Air 1997. In London, the public organization Our Dumb Friends League developed a special gas mask for horses in case of a chemical attack. England, March 27, 1940. Young Sarah Jessica Parker and a young Brooke Shields, 1970s. Frida Kahlo in 1953 at the English Hospital. Behind-the-scenes photo from the making of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 2. The Secret of the Ooze. United States soldier stationed in Nagasaki, Japan before going to Korea, posing with Japanese family, January of 1953. United States Senator George McGovern viewing the wreckage of a bombed nightclub in Saigon during the Vietnam War, 1971. A health warning about influenza from the Anti-Tuberculosis League posted on the inside of a public transport vehicle, 1910s. Albert Einstein and J. Robert Oppenheimer, Princeton University, 1947. Carrie Fisher, 1976. Vicky Dugan in the 1950s. French woman beating a captured German soldier, September 1944. German prisoners of war escorted by French irregulars during the liberation of France in 1944. An undercover police officer on duty, New York, Brooklyn, July 1st, 1969. A bathing beauty contest, 1929. Che Guevara with Egyptian peasants during his visit to Egypt in June 1959. (1862). Lincoln visits a Civil War camp in Maryland. Model Gillian Duxbury showing off the EMI X-ray scanner, 1975. Harold Ramis poses with an early terror dog maquette for Ghostbusters in 1984. Olympics Black Power Salute by John Dominus, October 16, 1968. Crowds of people outside St. Paul's Cathedral in London celebrate New Year's Eve, 1924. Women display futuristic clothing for the year 2000 during Engineering Week, circa 1965. An amphibious vehicle produced in Germany in the 1960s. Jacqueline Smith during the Charlie's Angels era, 1970s. Kim Novak in 1957's Pal Joey. Asso Bazou, a Moroccan man suffering from microcephaly, 1931. San Francisco earthquake and fire, April 18, 1906. The ruins of the Marie Antoinette apartments on the corner of Van Ness and Bush Streets. Happy Boy, 1993. Strongman, Zygmunt Breitbart performing in the circus, 1925. Caring for the Future, 1930s. In Finland and Sweden, the tradition of providing boxes for newborns has existed for almost a century. Initially, it was intended to help poor families, but later the initiative became a national treasure. Testing a jet vest inventor Thomas More. They say us clans went to the 5th grade, but us don't burn our draft cards. Picket sign in Montgomery, Alabama. United States, 1967. Shirley Jones, 1950. Portrait of an Osage woman and her children, circa 1918 to 1922. Piles of German helmets surrendered after Axis surrender, circa May 10, 1943. Nazi propagandist Joseph Goebbels and his children. Boeing 747 crash over Lockerbie in 1988. Volunteer nurses from the American Red Cross tend to influenza patients in the Oakland Municipal Auditorium, used as a temporary hospital in 1918. Hair curling device, 1938. In the early 1980s, the South Korean military constructed concrete defensive positions that closely resemble medieval castles. A young Kurt Russell kicks Elvis Presley in the shin, 1963. A female Lockheed employee works on a P-38 lighting in Burbank, California, 1944. United States First Army in the World War I Victory Parade in New York City, September 10, 1919. Women workers. With the onset of World War I, more and more women began working in factories. 1880, load of lumber, Michigan. When Roman sandals were in style, 1960s. At the Puppet Show, Paris, 1963. August 8, 1940. After a test flight, the British Ladies Civil Air Transit Auxiliary in full gear. Paramedics and students run as they push the body of Kent State University student Jeffrey Miller on a gurney after he had been shot when the Ohio National Guard opened fire on anti-war protesters. Kent, Ohio, May 4, 1970. Twin funnels on Palm Sunday in Elkhart, Indiana. One of the first photos of a tornado. United Airlines stewardess, 1970. Statue of Liberty towering over Paris just before it was disassembled and shipped to New York, 1886. Miss Universe contestants are applauded by sailors, 1954. Anita Ekberg in a promo photo for Zarek, 1956. Cotton workers on the roadside in Arkansas, 1936, walking with everything they own. Painted knee, a forgotten fashion trend of the 1920s. Marlon Brando often refused to memorize his lines for movies like The Godfather. Instead, the crew used cue cards placed around the set, even on other actors. 1972. A delegation of samurai in Washington, D.C. in 1860. Children laboring in a forge during the Second French Empire, 1865. Viet Minh soldier shakes the hand of a wounded French prisoner of war after the Battle of Dien Bien Phu, May 1954. Paul McCartney 15, Ivan Vaughan middle, and George Harrison 14. Liverpool, 1958. May 20th, 1948, Nanjing. Members of the newly elected Chinese government head to the Assembly Hall. This marked the first national general election held in China since 1912. On the night of February 1, 1976, Elvis Presley took his private jet from Graceland to Denver and back in one night because he was craving an 8,000-calorie sandwich. Legendary industrial designer Luigi Colani with his famous Frog motorbike, 1973. Black Panther Party outside of the Capitol building in Olympia, protesting a gun control bill, February 28, 1969. The beautiful Jane Russell enjoying her Indian Arrow motorcycle at home in California in the 1940s. Knife grinders in France, circa 1900. They worked lying down to save their backs and had dogs sit on their legs for warmth. Tsunami sweeping over a commercial pier in Hilo, Hawaii in 1946, taken from the SS Brigham Victory. The man indicated by the arrow had just cut the line from the pier to the ship so that it could escape to open sea.